Hi Libra, welcome to your reading for June 2023. This is the second time I'm doing your reading. The first time I did it, my whole computer crashed, so I don't know what happened, and I can't pull up your first reading, so I thought let's just do it again. So here we are. This is going to be for Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising. You could have planets in the sign of Libra. You may be in love with the Libra, platonically, romantically, and just maybe checking on their energy. Whatever brought you, I say welcome. Excuse my fingernail. I did my nails, and then it's gel, so it just popped right off. But it takes too long to dry, so I didn't want to wait. So, I hope you don't mind. Anyways, I want to give a shout out to my nephew Sean, who is Libra on September 24th. My beautiful granddaughter Lily is October 14th, and my sister Tracy, Sean's mom, is October 15th. She's crossed over. But, you know, I felt her in our readings for Libra for a long time, so you know, I feel she's just part of our guide system. So anyways, let's go ahead and get into your reading, guys. We're going to use 3 different decks. We're going to use Mother Mary for our words of wisdom. We're going to use the Gilded Tarot to clarify, and I'm going to stay with the Psychic Tarot again. I'm just loving the messages it's bringing out, so I feel like why switch? All right, let's get into it. Let's go ahead and start with Mother Mary. Give it a couple shuffles. Everything's pre-shuffled. I just like to shuffle with you also here. So let's give them a cut. Hopefully my camera's working fine. Okay, well that took like no time at all. We have 2. They both came face up. We have truth. I am lovingly honest with myself and others. I'm lovingly honest with myself and others. Truth. And then Father. Interesting. My true Father is God in heaven, who shines healing light upon me, my birth father, and our relationship. You know, it's interesting because my nephew just became a father, and he didn't really know his father. So, you know, he's like, I just see him shining around the baby. So I feel like, you know, it's like a chance to be a great dad that maybe wasn't available to him, if you know what I mean. So I feel like I have to say that because for some of you that may ring true, but we'll see. We will read those from the book at the end of the reading, and I'm telling you, they're going to make perfect sense. All right, let's go ahead and bring in the Psychic Tarot. Give it a couple good shuffles. Whoa. Okay, we're not going to take those, but we're going to look at them. So I have the 3 swords face up. That can speak about potential heartache. You know, I feel like if that would be the case, then that is old energy. And then look at this. Love begins. That's the Ace of Cups. And then we have Shadow, which is a card of Pisces. It's the Moon. Roller of Cancer. And then we have Stand Your Ground. Okay. Something's going on with love. Wow. Whoa, okay, what's going on here? Accelerated motion. And then truth. This is judgment. This is your spiritual team. All right, let's try to get these cards to calm down. Give them one more good shuffle. And we'll see if any of those cards come out. Interesting. I feel like I have to take them. All right, let's start here. And well, nice. We start with the Empress. Beautiful. It's interesting because the Empress is a mother figure. Doesn't have to be a mother figure, but it's mothering, nurturing, loving, open heart, creative, receives epiphanies and acts upon them. You know, I feel like that's why we become the Empress, because like we start to recognize that, you know, our spiritual team is sending us signs. The Empress, I feel like, is someone who's lived a lot of life, and it doesn't have to mean that you're older. It just means you've had a lot of experiences in your life and that you've overcome them. And then I find it interesting that we have like the mother and the father right there. We have foundation and achievements. Partnerships and alliances. Interesting. 2 3s, 33. Some may have a master number 33, 4 right in the middle. So, you know, it looks like, first of all, the Empress is someone who's very creative, and this could be talking about the potential of collaboration. And I have a feeling someone does this out or does this within their home. Now, it doesn't have to be the case, but I do feel like for someone, it's like doing, and it's interesting because there's this beautiful rainbow behind this house. And look at the family is looking at it, recognizing it. So I feel like you're building something, and I feel like the right people like will be just like put in place, are already put in place. I feel like this must be something creative. And again, for some of you, I feel like you're doing it in your home, but still I feel like there's a collaboration. Let's keep going. You know, partnerships and alliances. This means that these, whoever it may be, would have your best interest at heart and you theirs. Material and spiritual prosperity. We'll take it. Material and spiritual prosperity. And by the way, you had that in your first reading also. Look at that. 3, 6. Another 6. Bring this lid down a little bit. Something's changing in your money sector. But you know why? Because you are, I feel like you're paying attention to your spiritual side. This does feel like something like spiritually. And don't forget, we're in a universal year 7, which definitely speaks about our spirituality. 7 is spiritual completeness. At least that's how it's described in the Bible. All right, let's keep going. So I feel like whatever you're doing here, especially if you are paying attention to epiphanies that you're receiving, and maybe even following your hunches, because I feel like the right people are going to be put in place for you. Now, this doesn't have to mean like I'm taking on a partner, but maybe we're just collaborating on a certain project. All right. Patience and planning. Patience and planning. This is the 7 of Pentacles. You know, what I love about the 7 of Pentacles is I feel like, you know, normally you'll see like a tree with pentacles on the tree, and I feel like that's your soul's seeds of intention, like the things that your soul wanted to accomplish in this lifetime. You know, and some of those seeds could be great, but some may be like lessons that I really want to overcome in this lifetime. I love that it's coming under the Empress, because again, I feel like the Empress is a certain vibration, you know, like I reach that vibration. How do I reach out? Well, first, I don't know why I'm getting this feeling of like, I have to learn to let the old go. I have to, like, what is not working, who is not working, I gotta let them go, and I gotta keep moving forward. We have light. This is the sun. Beautiful. This is illumination. This can talk about, I feel like the sun's like a brand new day. The sun, when it comes out in your reading, I feel like there's nothing to fear. This is like feeling like a kid again. Your inner child. Interesting, because I feel like you're creating from that energy. You're creating from your inner child. For some of you, I feel like, this is a talent that you just have. And, maybe you weren't able to bring it to light before, but now it's coming to light. We have rest and rejuvenation. This person, he's sitting by a tree, which to me symbolizes wisdom. His hands are open, like open to receiving. It's almost like I'm meditating over my next steps. And I feel like if that's the case, I'm going to receive my next step. I feel like this is also talking about nature, becoming grounded. We have mental conflict. Almost feels like it doesn't fit. That's the Two Swords. And then we have hello, victory, and success. So you have a lot of energy, which you did in your last reading too. I'm telling you, your money sector just seemed, and your creative sector seemed to be on fire. Well, here it is again. So it's not letting me down. It's definitely showing me the synchronicities. Victory and success. It may have taken some time. You may have had to put a plan in place. That would be like the Emperor's energy. The Emperor is someone who does go by plans. You know what I mean? The Empress normally is someone who goes by the seat of her pants. She moves according to her desires and her passions. But she also trusts her energy. And she trusted in a way that if anything, let's just say, negative or dark was coming her way, she's going to know it. She's going to feel it probably before it even reaches her. So anyway, victory and success. Two of Swords. Can I? I feel like if you're in the Two of Swords energy, and that means that you're wearing a blindfold. It means there's something you may not want to face, but you need to, and also because it's mirrored by patience and planning. This could be speaking about a time period, like, is it ever going to happen? It feels like there's just one little block. And maybe that block is like you need to become grounded. I feel like for someone, it's like you need to get out in the sunshine. Maybe you are working from home like I am, and I spend a lot of time indoors because that's what I work from home. So I do feel like, maybe as I rejuvenate, I feel like this Two of Swords will go away. Because ultimately you have victory and success, and you have material and spiritual prosperity. All right, I wasn't going to take this many, but let's go ahead. By the way, we do light, which is the sun, is the card of Leo. I feel like I got to say that. Okay, we have deception and envy. Now, I have to tell you, I'm not really worried about this. I feel like this may be why you made a change in your life. This is untrustworthy energy. It's like the thief in the night, but it's coming below the sun. So, it's exactly what I felt earlier. Like if there's anything in this type of energy, anyone who wants to, is, what's the word I'm looking for? any energy that you can't trust, whether it be a person, an opportunity, you know, anything negative, let's just say, that's coming towards you. Again, the sun is going to illuminate that for you. So I don't feel like this energy, and it may be tied back to the Two of Swords here, but I almost feel like I don't have to worry about this. Maybe I did, but I don't feel like I do anymore. Maybe you made a change. You know, maybe you were dealing with, I mean, we saw the Three of Swords, right? But then after that Three of Swords, we did see the Ace of Cups. So I feel like the Three of Swords is old energy. All right. Oh, we got two. All right. We have, beautiful, positive movement forward. Look at, I mean, everything is moving you forward in this reading. Especially as it relates to your finances, your creative house. It doesn't always have to mean like your money. It might just be something that you find that you thoroughly enjoy, and it brings you a true sense of happiness. But for some of you, I definitely feel like it is talking about, you know, your creative house and, you know, material prosperity, victory, and success. So, positive movement forward. And then we have movement, choices, decisions. Coming under the Two of Swords, mental conflict. 2 twos. It almost feels like it doesn't, like this doesn't belong, but yet it's here. I feel like, you know, with deception and envy here, and then we have the Eight of Wands next to that, you know, fast-moving energy first and foremost. But I feel like what it's doing, it's moving you away from any type of energy that has, you know, or people that you can't trust or that you couldn't trust. Like, bye-bye. Because I feel like they have no room in your future. They have no, you know what I mean? Like, there's, like, they gotta go. All right, let's bring these up a little bit, give myself a little bit more room. And by the way, here you're making a decision of whether to change something, whether to add something, whether to make a move, whatever it may be. What is being mirrored by, though, is victory and success. Know that. You know, I feel like with this Two of Swords, it's like you have to trust yourself. You know, keep moving forward no matter what has happened in the past. Take off any blindfolds. You know, get yourself grounded. And I feel like when you do that, epiphanies just naturally will come to you, like the way. All right, let's put these back in place. 6, 7, 8. All right, let's look at the bottom of the deck. All right, we have temptation. This is the devil. This is the card of Capricorn. Rejoice and celebration. Could talk about someone may have quit drinking. You know, someone may have a much more sober mind, and because of that, like, you're receiving these epiphanies much clearer than you were before. You know, and I know that's not everyone, but I do feel like, you know, and it doesn't have to talk about alcohol, but again, temptation with the Three of Cups kind of just makes me feel that way a little bit. Ace of Swords underneath that. All right, let's bring in the Gilded Tarot and let's go deeper. Give it one more shuffle. Let's give them a cut. By the way, if I can get your other video to work, I'll also release it. But I have a feeling I won't be able to. I've been trying. All right, let's go ahead. Let's start at the beginning. You know, I'm starting at the beginning, but we're still reading everything as a whole. But let's look at the Empress. Hello, Nine of Pentacles. Wow. First and foremost, this is successful self-employment. Why am I successful? Because I put in the work. I'm willing to put in the work. You know, maybe I haven't reached the success yet, but if that's the case, I feel like it's right around the corner for you. You know, this is the energy of independence and being able to claim independence. And I don't mean from like someone else, just that I can take care of me. What beautiful energy if, I feel like if you're doing well, I mean, it can be anything. I was going to say like, if you're like a spiritual based business, but it doesn't have to be that. It can be many different things, but I feel like, well, you know, first of all, we're getting a lot of energy that's talking about success, right? Prosperity, victory and success, positive movement forward, the Sun, and now the Nine of Pentacles. And then we have the King of Swords. King of Swords can be you, another Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. What the heck? I mean, I have a Gemini moon. How could I forget that? So, and it doesn't have to be any of that. You know, Mother Mary has the energy of truth. I feel like this king in the upright is someone that I can trust, someone that is truthful. This may be someone that you're even collaborating with. Let's keep going. You know, the Sun's underneath this king, so I'm not worried about him. But for some of you, I feel like it's you, male or female. Excuse me. I also feel like there's someone whose children have grown, and it's like you're getting back to like these creative ideas that I feel like have always lived within you, but maybe I haven't had the time. You know, how do I reach success in the Nine of Pentacles? It is your effort. It is your work. But this is also reaping the benefits. You know, the person in the Nine of Pentacles reaps all the benefits. It's not like, you know, I get 50% of what I'm creating. No, it's all yours. All right, they're all in reverse. We're going to turn them around. Ace of Wands. Action. Desire. Passion. Coming over partnerships and alliances. It's go time. Look at this, the Ace of Pentacles. Wow. Next to the Ace of Wands, coming over spiritual and material prosperity. Well, the Ace of Pentacles would be the perfect ace to come out here, because the Ace of Pentacles to me is something that's coming into your physical world that really can expand your world. You know, like the Ace of Wands to me is energy. You know, it is action, but again, it's like, it's how it makes you feel, like something that feels desirable or passionate, something that makes me, or doesn't, I don't want to say makes me, but like, how could I say no to this ace? And then the Ace of Pentacles. This is meant to expand your world. Well, what part of your world? Your material and your spirituality. This is something that's tangible. And it's being mirrored. Not only is it coming over material and spiritual prosperity, but it's being mirrored by the Nine of Pentacles. Put that ace with the 9, potential of the Ten of Pentacles. But let's keep going. We have the Page of Wands. You know, I feel like the Page of Wands is like the Fool. This is someone who takes chances. And I also feel like, again, the energy of something within you that, listen, some of you may have gone to school for it. But I feel like it's like some type of passion that's been within you. And now you have the ability to bring it to the table or bring it to the world. Well, hello, Eight of Pentacles. I mean, money, 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 money. I don't even know. Eight of Pentacles coming over the Sun. You know, the Eight of Pentacles says, don't be afraid to go into something as the apprentice. You know, maybe I don't know all I need to know. But in this energy, I'm going to learn as I go. You know, and the sun's going to illuminate. Like, some of you may be like, but what, Sandy, what? Well, with the illumination of the sun, I feel like if you know, quiet your mind and maybe just ask your guides if you're not sure. Like, what is this ace for me? You know, what is it meant for? Eight of Pentacles says, if you put your focus on this, it's going to grow. And we already know that. This could be something new, because eights do stand for a new beginning. I feel like this person is just lost in their craft, and that feels like a very good thing. Like, money is the name of the game for you. I'm saying money, but, you know, success. And however you measure success. But I do feel like what this is talking about is ultimately becoming very independent. And that doesn't mean like independent of other people. It just means it's bringing me a sense of independence. And for some of you, it's bringing you true independence within your financial house. We have the Two of Wands. So we have the Ace of Wands here, and then we get the Two of Wands. So I feel like this is you saying yes. Interesting that it's coming over rest and rejuvenation. I feel like maybe that is what I needed first and foremost. And as I'm, like, this person definitely feels like he's receiving, you know, as he quiets his mind, as he sits in nature. Maybe when I go out into the sun, it's like you know, like going on a walk. And then as I'm walking, I receive ideas and epiphanies. And then, you know, the Two Swords would be like, I don't know what to do. But the universe is like supplying you with everything you need to begin this journey. Some of you, you're already on this journey and you may be questioning, like, you know, am I going to have success? Can this work? Everywhere it feels like yes, yes, yes. Two of Wands. You know, it also tells you what type of path you're about to walk down. And I don't know, this is a good path. You know, it's action-oriented, first and foremost. But it's very desirable. And it is of your passions. And I feel like this is saying yes. It's like, you got the ball, now put it to use. We have the Hermit. Interesting, we have two Virgo cards. Some of you, some of you could even be on the cusp. Like my nephew, he's on the cusp of Virgo and Libra. The Hermit, coming under material and spiritual prosperity. Well, the Hermit's all about finding my spirituality. You know, the Hermit is someone who has walked through the dark night of the soul, but is not hanging on to the past heartache, you know, but does want understanding over. The Hermit, as he emerges from the cave, he has this beacon of light, And this beacon of light is to illuminate the Hermit's next steps, which I feel it's you, but also to help illuminate other people's steps. I feel like there's a need to trust yourself above all. You know, because I do feel like something magical is happening. But I feel very like you deserve it. Trust yourself. Trust your spirituality. We have the Tower. Tower coming over victory and success. I feel like for some of you, it's saying that you are now clearing the energy of the Tower. And I feel like it has to do with what we were seeing back here. So the Tower, you know, I could have lost a job. Something unexpected happens, right? It's a disruption. But this is saying that you overcome this Tower. And I feel like sometimes the universe throws us towers, but it's to move us in place. Maybe with the Two of Swords here, this chapter wanted to open up, but, you know, I was conflicted over it. So the Tower is like, well, let's take away that job, which puts you in the energy of, I got to do something to make money. And then maybe that starts moving you into, I feel like, whatever it is you want to build. You know, I'm not worried about this Tower at all, because I definitely know it's past energy, especially with the Hermit right here. The Hermit's going to have complete understanding of, well, I shouldn't say complete, because we don't need to know all things. Some things are just meant to let go. And then we have the Six of Wands. Interesting, you have victory and victory. Victory and success. Victory and success. Now this is coming right over the Seven of Swords, deception and envy. I just feel like anyone who's coming in the dark won't have a chance. That's how confident I'm feeling about you right now. Now, maybe you haven't reached that energy, but you have the opportunity to reach it. I feel like if anything, you have got to trust in yourself and trust in your abilities. It's like your time. Let's keep going. You know, we have the Tower here, so we can't deny that the Tower happened. You know, and again, that's energy that feels very disruptive, right? But in the same breath, I feel like, you know, with deception and envy here, for some, it moved you away from a certain person. And it can mean love, but also I feel like it can also mean work. Like, you know, you may have had a job where, like, your ideas, your epiphanies keep coming to you, but somebody keeps taking them, claiming them for their own. Well, you're not going to take that very long, right? You know, it's like if I'm a songwriter, I feel like I'm writing about my life. I'm writing a song about my life. And because so many other people have gone through similar experiences, they're all going to relate to that song. Now, I'm using it as an example, but for some of you, that's probably the case. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, it can be a book. Like, I'm writing a book, but it's based more on my experiences and how I reached, you know, maybe it's not till you're down here, but how did I reach this success? I had to go through the towers. But then the sun lights the next direction up for you. The Magician, the Manifester. Right over positive movement forward. I kind of love this. Because above it is the Two of Wands and the Ace of Wands. You're manifesting something. You're manifesting all of this. You know, and I don't always know that. Positive movement forward to me is like, excuse me, like what I think about, I bring about. I'm realizing that my intentions that I sent out to the universe, but they're going to match, the universe is going to match that intention, right? Or another way of saying it is my vibration. If I'm vibrating on a higher level, then the universe is going to send me whatever it is that's also on that level. You're manifesting from very positive type energy. You're believing in yourself. Even if someone else did not. Be gone with, right? All right. Let's look over movement, choices, and decisions with the Hermit above it and the Two Swords above it. But above that, spiritual and material prosperity. And the universe does not disappoint because they brought out the Ace of Pentacles. All right, I have the Six of Cups. Six of Cups speaks about like treasure type memories. Again, I feel like there's something like within you, for some of you, that has been within you forever. Maybe since you were a child. Maybe it's just a God-given gift. But I had to know that. I had to develop it. It took time. You know what I mean? And for some, like, it is my experiences that taught me more than anything. What am I holding? Six of Cups. Let's see what came with it. The Death card. Card Scorpio. It's endings. It's interesting because the Six of Cups mirrored by the Tower. It could talk about someone that I was with and it didn't work out. I mean, it just didn't. And why? Well, because deception and envy is here. Right? And you're only going to take that for so long. Now, I can't, I shouldn't always put it on someone else. Sometimes it can be us. But whatever the case is, it's like the ability to overcome it. So there could be someone like, a childhood sweetheart that maybe, you tried, but maybe it didn't work. Doesn't mean that it won't come back around. But the Death card is the closing of doors. But that's so that a new door can open. It's in a beautiful line. So whatever door, and I already know a door wants to open. I mean, maybe more than one door. But, I just feel like, listen, if you're wondering like, okay, what do I do with these aces? Again, I feel like rest and rejuvenation, but the way I'm picking up is more grounded type energy. I just feel like you're going to be guided. This feels very, very guided. Like I feel like the wheel needs to come out. All right. I want to look a little bit more, though, at this energy of the Six of Cups and the Death card. I don't know if I said card is Scorpio. With Virgo and Scorpio right there. So tell me more about the Six of Cups with the Death card. Tell me more. Tell me more, tell me more. Six of Pentacles. Interesting. So, Six of Pentacles. Let's talk about that. Because with the Seven of Swords here, I feel like part of a lesson that I was learning is balance. Balance within my own life, but also balance in what it is I choose to give away, so to speak. Six of Pentacles is learning that fine art of give and take. And I feel like your hearts, I always call you lovely Libras, because I feel like your hearts are easily able to give. But are you able to receive? Like don't shut yourself down. All right. I still want more, though. I want to know a little bit more. 2 sixes, by the way. 7 of Pentacles. So I feel like this is talking about something was meant to be also. 6 of Pentacles to the 7 of Pentacles. There is that tree I was talking about. Like your tree of life. Your soul seeds of intention. I feel like these are seeds that were planted before I even came into this lifetime. And it's interesting because here comes one of those seeds. All right, let's just go to the opposite end and let's look at that tower. Whoa. We have the King of Wands. So that can represent an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But it can also represent someone who, I don't know, I get this energy of like someone who is very proactive in your relationship in the beginning. But then maybe, I don't know, I feel like it, what's the word? I want to say teetered out. Circle one more over the tower. And now the King. We have the Page of Swords. Excuse me. Interesting because some of you, this could be communication that may be coming back around. I feel like this could also talk about someone who needed to overcome something on their own. You know what I mean? Like they had this sense of being tempted to something. And I feel like, especially with the page right above it and a page right here, this could be both of your younger energy. Page of Wands, King of Wands, Page of Swords, King of Swords. Male, female, by the way. Doesn't really matter. But I do feel like the potential of this king overcoming something, I feel like they're successful at it. Now, does that mean that you add them back into your life? Well, let's ask that question. Because especially with the Magician here, I feel like you can pretty much manifest what you want. But is it good for you? Page of Swords can certainly talk about communication. Well, hello, lovers. Card of Gemini. And then the King of Pentacles. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. We have Capricorn with Temptation. We have Virgo with the Hermit and the 9 of Pentacles. So this is definitely a connection to someone. You know, the Lovers is a head over heart decision. And that 2 of Swords may be, you know, I'm feeling this twofold because this could be like someone that just tempts me, right, with their energy. But is that energy good for me? Well, with the Sun here, I feel like anyone who comes back toward you, again, like the universe is going to illuminate whether I can trust that energy or not. But it definitely feels like there was a connection. All right, so I want to ask the question. Does that mean this is coming back around? And if so, is it good? Is it good for me? We have the Page of Cups. I'm just kind of taking it down the middle. The 4 of Swords. And the Empress again. So it's interesting because I feel like with the Page of Cups here, you know, I do feel like this is talking about a younger lover, so to speak. You know, a relationship when we were younger. 4 of Swords comes out next to it. My question is this, if this is something that's coming back around, is it good for you? Well, the 4 of Swords tells me that whatever needed to be healed is healed. It may have taken time, but it's coming right towards the Empress. You know, and another thing, and I get this all the time in my readings, you know, like if you read as much as I do, you see patterns. Like I see patterns. But what was I going to say? Oh, in a lot of readings, I feel like, you know, what would be the perfect scenario as it relates to your life? Well, being able to do something that you love creatively, making money from that, and being successful doing that. Now, that could have meant that there was some type of sacrifice, and that sacrifice might have been love, right? Like I really want to manifest this stability for myself, but even more than stability is the success. But I feel like that's just going to come natural. You know, we did see the Three of Swords right in the beginning, and I kind of love that the Four of Swords is here now. So I feel like, you know, it is healing over a broken heart. All right. So anything else I want to ask? Well, let's just stay on that thought. So if this is something that's coming back towards you, it feels like, again, it had the potential of healing. That could mean time, right? Time in between when we were together then and now. Now, I want you to understand that if this is someone that's coming in, and again, they're still in that energy of deception and envy, you should be able to feel that. You know what I mean? Like if someone's coming back toward you and you don't feel like anything has changed, well, then you're going to have the same results again. We have the Ace of Swords. Communication. Truth. Eight of Wands again. So I feel like this is talking about, you know, it's interesting because the first part of your reading was all about your money, all about your creative house and the success that you can have, you know, and then the universe supplying you, helping to supply you. First of all, that Ace of Pentacles, to me, it's giving you the way, right? It's highlighting the way for you to reach that success. And then the Ace of Wands would say, it's your action, you know, stepping forward into it. So I feel like now, like, I feel like if I went back and looked at this old relationship, I feel like I was a different person. And so were they. But now I feel like this is talking about a maturity level. What I think about, I bring about. And then we have your major arcana, Libra. I love it when you show up in your own reading. I really do. Now, for some of you, this is talking about the cutting of ties, right? But if I cut those ties earlier, which the Tower would represent that, you know, there was an imbalance. So justice is about the rebalance. You know, and I also feel like as it relates to love, justice needs to feel both the cups of the scale. You know, so to me, it's like a soulmate type energy. And I need to make sure that I'm filling both cups. I also feel like when I cut ties with certain energy, it automatically balances those cups, the scale, back out for you. You know, fairness. Making you whole again. Potentially making them whole again. This couldn't signify, some of you could have been married. All right, let's just do one more round, and we're just going to start. We're going to keep following that line because I feel like your finances, I get it. It's very, very clear. So let's just follow this line a little bit more. 10 of Wands. Okay. Interesting. 10 of Wands makes me feel like I put all the responsibility on my back. Maybe in a relationship. You know, it's interesting because I'm getting, like, I'm not getting a, well, I am getting a definite yes, if that's what you choose. And what I mean, like, has this person evolved as you have? And for some, I feel like it's a yes. But the ball is in your court. 10 of Wands reminds me of the 6 of Pentacles, where, you know, it was the art of give and take. Maybe back in the day, it's like you carried that relationship, but you didn't want to do that anymore. It was too much. So whoever threw down the tower, I feel like it needed to be thrown down. All right, I just want to go right over the middle of all them. Right over the middle. The Hangman. Could have been some time in between when we were together. Judgment, your spiritual team. Well, okay, let's talk about this real quick, because the Hangman is like a pause in the action, but Judgment is the opposite. Judgment's calling you to the present moment. Why? Because there's something about to happen. There's some type of change that's on the horizons. And you'll be guided again. So you don't even have to worry about that. It's just have an open mind. You know what I mean? Like, allow yourself to receive, like, spiritual help. Judgment is about a rebirth. So as it relates to, let's say, who's over here, my question is really, is this good for you or not? Well, Judgment would say there has been a rebirth. And then, hello, Star. Card of Aquarius first. But this is about your hopes, your dreams, and your wishes coming right next to Judgment. You don't think your spiritual team is involved in your life? I mean, they're involved in every part of your life. I wouldn't even be surprised if it was the universe, if it wasn't the universe who created that tower, because again, I feel like something was very, you know, unbalanced at the time. At the time. But I do feel like both people here have healed and overcome. Doesn't mean I still don't have a little ache, right? But the Magician, that's you manifesting. You know, Libra, I feel like this is probably one of your better readings because, first of all, like, financially, yes, I want you to do very, very well. I want you to have this sense of independence, you know, true independence. And again, I don't mean like independent from other people, but independent within. Judgment is like controlling. I don't even know. Controlling is the wrong word. Judgment is ushering in the star, your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. But it lies within the rebirth. It lies within the rebirth. So I feel like not only are you manifesting yourself like some great money, or even just the way, like a new way of living, I feel like this is also ushering in love. Now, I know that's not for everyone. And it may look different for different people. But I do feel like it's, you know, especially with the 7 of Pentacles here, it's like, one of these seeds. Well, here is the Ace of Pentacles, but I feel like this is speaking about another seed. One of the seeds speaks about your material world. And I feel like another seed may speak about love. Okay, let's read, let's read Truth, since I opened the book right to it. Bring this up a little bit. You drew this card because some truth is being hidden. Most likely, you are the one hiding it from yourself. How do you really feel about your present situation? This card counsels you to take an honest inventory, admitting your most vulnerable feelings to yourself. If someone isn't being forthright with you, you'll know within your heart. The first person who comes to mind, is probably involved in this dishonesty. Sometimes people aren't truthful because their fear of conflict makes them people please. Other times, dishonesty stems from a lack mentality, arising when individuals believe that they have to take what they want because there's not enough to go around. Reminds me of like growing up in a big family. Take the time to sit quietly in meditation, exactly what that person was doing, and ask God and Holy Spirit to reveal the truth about your present situation. Although truth has a subjective component and opinions about the same situation will vary from person to person, there's need for greater honesty in order to heal and resolve the present situation. Okay, and let's read Father. I don't know why my nose is like so itchy. All right, Father. This card comes to you because your question is rooted in your relationship with your father. I have to say real quick before I move on, a lot of times with the father figure, I feel like, there can be patterns that can go from one generation to the next. Now, that can be a good thing or that can be maybe not such a good thing. The sun would definitely illuminate that to you. And the reason why I'm saying that, it just reminds me of like my own life, I love my father. He's crossed over now, but I loved my father, but he definitely had, as it related to my mother, some issues, you know what I mean? And, trustworthy type issues. So I knew, I don't want to live that. I don't want that. But who's the first person I marry? Someone who was so untrustworthy. So I feel like sometimes it's a pattern that we want to look at. Okay. All right. Where was I at? All right, let's just start from the beginning. This card comes to you because your question is rooted in your relationship with your father. Even though this connection may not be immediately understood, this card acknowledges the link. Most likely, old emotions concerning your father are affecting your present situation. If a memory surfaces as you read this, trust this pathway to lead you to healing. Recalling a painful memory isn't pleasant, but it's an important step towards releasing negative patterns. If you have old, heavy-hearted feelings about Dad, take a moment now to say, God and Mother Mary, thank you for helping me heal and release, and then name the emotions or the situation with my father so that he and I can be free. Amen. Libra, I loved your reading. And I have to say, the reading before this also showed your financial house and your creative house on fire. Well, this one certainly did not disappoint. And I feel like, ultimately, when I reach a sense of independence within myself, and I learn to trust energy and what I'm feeling, I feel like, the sky is the limit. I feel like there is no limit. to what you can create, both financially, love, but your whole life. Because remember, it was material and spiritual prosperity. So you're understanding now, especially with the Hermit there, right? I'm understanding what spirituality means. You know, I'm understanding that I have a whole spiritual team that can help me and will send me the signs, right? The Magician, the ability to manifest, but using that energy, and the universe has thrown you all these aces. I mean, we have 3 aces and the star. You just have beautiful energy here. It's not, you know, it definitely saying that you did have to overcome, but, you know, there is the rainbow. So I feel like that rainbow's coming out again, and I'm going to see it. I'm going to see it. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. As always, I thank you for every way you support my channel. By the way, I know there's a couple Libras who've gotten personal readings. Again, after I did your first reading, my whole computer crashed. And literally for days, I was trying to get it back to the point where I had to re-download Windows. That's why my microphone even sounds, I don't know, a little strange, but I wanted to get to your reading. We'll fix that later. So anyways, I just want to say those who have a personal reading, it did put me a couple days behind, but don't fret. I'll get to you, I promise. Anyways, I love you guys. I want this all to come true for you. And I feel like it's going to. Be the magician. Be the magician. All right. I love you. I'll see you next time at our table. Bye-bye.